They always clip. It doesn't matter. I will keep making jokes. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to like cater and reshape my content and commentary off of like what bad faith dumbasses are going to say and do. It's always funny because like every single extremely online community I've duked it out with. So I have the most unique and most diverse background of haters. What I mean by that is like I have the NATO Andes who fucking despise me and hate my guts. I have the psychotic right-wingers who hate my guts. I have the radlibs who are the radfems and radlibs who are like anti-sex work and anti-trans who fucking hate my guts. So they always get together, and whenever there's a clip chimp opportunity, they get together and they get eating. Like I unite them. Certain aspects of the Black Twitter, specifically the Barbs, they love that shit too. It's a diverse crowd of haters. I've also seen tanks that hate you, yeah, because they're fucking anti-sex work. Who cares?
Correctly stated, Yevgeny Prigozhin started that mutiny on June 24th, about 2 months ago, which failed, which was then called back. Obviously, a big threat to Vladimir Putin, and there were many people who were wondering about Yevgeny Prigozhin.
Would you say you have more haters than fans? No, fuck no, I would not say that. I absolutely have more fans than I have haters. The difference is, I absolutely have more fans than I have haters. The problem is when my fucking haters get together, they pop off in like the most online circles, which is precisely the reason why, and because they're so fucking loud, and because the way that especially Twitter/X operates, like it's geared towards right-wing commentary and it's geared towards negative commentary in general. It's I hit that trifecta so perfectly. I'm the vector of all things fuck Hassan. It feels like Twitter is new Twitter is designed to churn out these outcomes. It doesn't matter. Who gives a shit? Anyway, but this is not about me. This is about a caterer. My favorite caterer, a man who is most famous for making hot dogs and nothing else really. Has he done anything else since then? I just thought that he was like he was a competitive hot dog maker, Yevgeny Prigozhin. I sure hope he hasn't done anything since then, you know?
Prigozhin's safety and whether or not there could be payback from Vladimir Putin or from the Russian security services. Again, still very much unclear what exactly is going on, what exactly happened there, but certainly this potentially could be very, very big news coming out of Russia, Jim.
That's right. You mentioned that video from 2 days ago. I believe we were playing just a clip of it. We could play it again, in which he spoke about Wagner's exploits in Africa as making, in his words, Africa freer. We should note Prigozhin's Wagner group is operated as really a private military for the Russian President Vladimir Putin. Prigozhin, close to the Russian president. He was known for a time as Putin's chef, although his role much greater than that. He also played a role.
Cat turd dude's fate was sealed when he turned on Putin. Russian dissident Yevgeny Prigozhin reported dead after a plane crash outside of Moscow. Like, this is, we talked about this before. This is like the far right that just like glazes Vladimir Putin and Russia, which is always funny because it's like, it's un-American to love Russia this much. It's already un-American to like care about another country in general, right? But it's especially un-American to care this much about Russia. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing, cat turd? Why do you give a shit? Why do you give a shit about this that much? Like, what's happening? Aren't you supposed to fucking hate Russia because, like, they're communists or whatever? The USSR, remember? Cat turd sits there typing with his old man legs crossed like a grandma, and you can see all his veins like he has cave shrimp skin, and he has had a coffee that's 6 sugars. His heart is about to give out after he blasts off on a fucking fire tweet every single time. Hogs that were anti-Russian in the 80s Reagan days are literally Putin MAGA useful idiots now. It's just like, you're such a mark, okay? Like, I'm sorry. Listen. Maybe I'm too much of an American, but like, I don't give a fuck, okay? I care about the Russian people, but I don't give a fuck about the Russian government, and I do not give a fuck about Vladimir Putin. If you have an opinion that is favorable of the Russian government, especially if you're living in the United States of America, when like half a century of Red Scare propaganda has taken hold, it's that easy to turn you. Like a couple fucking Telegraph messages or a couple WhatsApp messages that were like perfectly timed, and you immediately flipped. You're like, oh no, this guy is actually based and a defender of the white race. Like, you're so stupid. If anything, it just shows me that you are the biggest mark, okay? You are the biggest fucking mark. Doesn't matter if you're like a MAGA communist, patriotic socialist, or whatever the fuck these idiots call themselves. It doesn't matter if you are, this regular old small business tyrant. You are a complete fucking mark, a rube, a sucker, okay? And it's like, you are weirdly a sucker that is a larger sucker than some of the rest of the Republican Party, somehow. It happened 2008 to 2016. Fox News kept showing Putin as a manly world leader in the Obama era, and boomers remember that shit. Have you seen the plane crash video? Plane looks like it lost its entire tail section. It was falling vertically. Very sus. Yeah, it got shot with an anti-aircraft gun, I'm pretty sure. What do you mean it was very sus? Like, hey, plane expert here. Hey, plane expert here. Planes actually only do that when they're in extreme distress. This is not funny. It's very... just saw the footage. I think that plane is going to crash.
In the 2016 Russian interference in the U.S. election, leading the group that helped interfere and spread false news here in the U.S. And to Fred's point, you cannot mention today's events as Russian state media reporting that he was on the list of passengers of this plane that went down. You cannot mention those events without mentioning events from 2 months ago when Prigozhin was the man who unsuccessfully led a coup against the Russian president, Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, and I think one of the big questions, obviously, at that time was, what is the fate going to be of Yevgeny Prigozhin? And so there are going to be a lot of questions about, obviously, what has happened here.
Absolutely.
And about certainly how this is going to maybe affect the dynamics of a war that we are seeing fought in Ukraine by Russia. I do want to bring in Nick Payton-Walsh. He is there in Ukraine for us. Nick, this is quite a bombshell. That we are learning that Yevgeny Prigozhin listed among these passengers on board this.
The only thing shocking about this story, if Prigozhin actually was in the plane, the only thing shocking about the story is like how long it took for Vladimir Putin to kill him. Like, this is the least surprising story. The only surprising component is that he wasn't immediately executed. Like, I don't get it. Like, it makes no fucking sense. Of course they were going to do that. 2 months didn't seem that long. Are you kidding me? No, it is absolutely so fucking long. What do you mean? No shot. Pudding person, Juniper says, don't forget that Putin assassinated Prigozhin to distract us from all the Hunter Biden's massive cock. Don't lose sight on this. Matt Wallace, breaking news, 10 dead, including Wagner boss Yevgeny Prigozhin in plane crash in Russia. This is the guy who the media said was about to overthrow Putin. What did he know about the Biden crime family? Dude, you have to be out of your fucking mind to think like this. There is no shot. Dude, this is awesome. Conservatives have given themselves mental illness, like unimaginable levels of mental illness. Dude, it's so fire. Maybe bro is just engagement maxing. Got to get those Elon bucks. I don't know. I don't know if it's like, is he still alive? If he's alive, this will officially be the most Looney Tunes-ass coup fallout of all time. A second plane owned by Prigozhin just landed at the Ostafyevo airport near Moscow. Wagner supporters are hoping that Prigozhin cheated death by boarding that plane instead. Okay, here's what I don't understand. If they fucking murk the other plane, it's over. It's Jover for him. Unless, he pulls this shit, which, as you guys already know, he is a master of disguise, okay? Vladimir Putin's like, niet. What is happening? I cannot believe it. He escaped my grasp one more time. Suka blyat. How is he doing it? How is he always able to escape? He is too good at disguises. MSNBC reported Putin go to Africa for some summit, and Putin did this because he was mad he couldn't go. First of all, that is not the reason why Putin did this. And the only reason why Putin couldn't go to the South African summit is because there's an extradition treaty despite the fact that South Africa is also, it's like a BRICS summit that's happening. So he's just attending. Via webcam or whatever. I don't even think he would go anyway. Who gives a shit? Oh my God! Someone said he looks like Carter. Why you got to do that to him, dude? That's kind of fucked up. He looks like if Carter went to the beach that made him old. Yeah, I will not stand for this slander. Carter is a beautiful boy. Okay, how dare you guys? Bottom right is Islamist Ryan Grimm. He does have the Ryan Grimm cut. No one expected Prigozhin's newest disguise. Oh, Jesus Christ. I fucking love this photo, man. I do. I love this photo. Okay, let's continue.
This plane that has crashed north of Moscow.
Yeah, it's important to remind people, though, that him being on the list of passengers doesn't automatically equate to him having been on that plane. It does appear from the images we're seeing and the reports we're hearing from Russian state media that those on board have indeed perished. Remember, Russian state media is not Yevgeny Prigozhin's friend, frankly, at the moment. He's the man who led that unsuccessful coup and then disappeared for a number of days, and it's fair to say he's a man who's good at hiding his whereabouts. The fact he's listed on this very rare aircraft, you don't see many of them flying around, frankly, Russia at all, doesn't immediately suggest that he had to have been on the aircraft, though we are dealing with an extraordinary moment potentially, which is the question that so many had asked: how does this man, Yevgeny Prigozhin, who appeared to have led that coup and then changed his mind radically on the way to Moscow, how did he stay alive this long? Though those who've even half upset Vladimir Putin as much in the past have met a grisly end, fallen from windows, some critics, some poisoned as well. Prigozhin essentially led...
How do you go about your day-to-day after trying to do a coup, failing, and then thinking that Vladimir Putin is not going to fucking kill you? Like, I don't get it. Oh my God, they're calling him a dissident. No shot. Russian dissident. No, this is this guy is making a joke. Max Sedan is making a joke about New York Post. For the record, he actually has like a pretty decent coverage on what happens in Russia. He's making a joke about New York Post calling him a Russian dissident, which is, of course, the fucking New York Post. So of course they're gonna call him a Russian dissident. Yeah, man. He was a dissident, dude. Yeah. He was our guy. Are you covering the debate? No, dude. I'm not going to cover the debate. Prigozhin was just a free speech defender. Yeah. Prigozhin was a free speech defender, and more importantly than free speech, he was also a defender of road trips with the boys. Okay? That's all I'm going to state right now, and nothing else. He just wanted workers' rights for his guys, okay? And he also sometimes advocated for workers' wrongs, which you're supposed to do. But he ultimately suffered a fatal blow because he was just advocating for the boys to go on a little road trip. Anyway. Wait, sounds like it was a socialist? Yeah, I mean, well, technically the Russian government is socialist, the USSR, you know, as we all know. So, I mean, this is like designed like a Metal Gear Solid plot point. The fact that this is a PMC owner, like the fact that he was a hot dog salesman, caterer turned successful private military contractor, okay, that then tried to do a coup to be like, we have to do the invasion of Ukraine more aggressively, okay, and also I want to pull my troops out of Ukraine and bring them back to Africa, where we are making a lot of money with gold mining. Like, it's, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about this other than, like, this is a Hideo Kojima plot point, okay? Straight up. Is perfect.
Led an armed rebellion against...
NATO killed him because of Africa? Yeah, dude. Definitely.
the Kremlin had yet lived, and as you said, Jim, was seen in Africa a matter of days ago. And so many Kremlin watchers were wondering, how precisely did he manage to survive? Was a deal cut? We know of the public deal arranged by a man who Putin had scorn for, frankly, the president of Belarus, Alexander Lukashenko, that essentially appeared to have turned Wagner's troops round on the way to Moscow. But what happened to Prigozhin next was going to be an exceptionally difficult question to answer. We've heard from today from Russian officials the suggestion that one of the Russian generals who were thought to have been close.
I like that when stuff like this happens, there's always like unique voices that you don't really hear from until they come in and they're like, yeah, NATO actually killed him. And it's like, okay, so is he like actually a Russian dissident and a base NATO defender? As some people were championing him when he started marching towards Moscow? Or is he NATO's worst nightmare? And he's, I mean, I feel like there's a much simpler answer here. Man who only remembers MGS, Hideo Kojima invented every PMC. No, but the fact that like PMCs have become more prominent in this way certainly is something that Hideo Kojima made the central point of his worldview and the world building inside of the Metal Gear Solid franchise.
To the Wagner head, Prigozhin, have suddenly been removed quietly from their post after suggestions they've been under house arrest for some time, General Surovikin. And so this fate potentially comes at a similar time as that. But it's important to point out to people we know little at this time. This is a moment potentially where people might suggest that Yevgeny Prigozhin now disappears for a while.
You know he's confirmed not on that plane. First of all, it's not confirmed. None of this is confirmed. And we will not know until maybe the rest of this news cycle, until the end of this news cycle. We might not know for months even. Like, his wife said he's alive. There's a second plane that landed that also was owned by Prigozhin. So he could be. I just don't know. The thing is, I don't know why he thought he was safe. I don't even know how he was alive for this long. Read that chatter's message before that one. Where is it? Rari is swerving Big Draco. Biden killed him. He was going to expose Hunter's corruption with Burisma. You know he's confirmed not on that plane? Yeah, he alive. Come on. Dude, I love people like this. Actually, this is fucking awesome. W politics, chatter. Told you.
We don't know if he's been listed on that plane. Does he emerge shortly and say to everybody he's actually fine? Did he get back from Africa suddenly very quickly and find himself on this private jet? A lot of questions
yeah, let's
to be
not ban
answered
that guy.
here, but it's important to point out these are state media channels and the state agency Rosaviatsia telling us that he's indeed on that private jet. That may not have happened by accident. We're still, I think, trying to work out what's really happened here. But if state messages are this clear, there may be a bid to suggest that Prigozhin was indeed on that plane, the fate of which is now clear, Jim.
No question. It's important to inject that question because we don't know for certain he was on the plane. We do know, as you say, that state media is reporting he was listed on the passengers on board, and this was a plane that he was known to use. We should also note, as a matter of context, that the Russian president has not hesitated to kill his opponents in a number of ways. He used radioactive materials to kill Litvinenko in London. He attempted to kill Alexei Navalny using a nerve agent. As Nick referenced, there were a lot of officials who stood up to the Russian president who've fallen out of windows accidentally or otherwise.
Many of them.
Another one was famously shot quite close to the Kremlin.
Let's take a live look at the.
I feel like putting him in the same category as Navalny is kind of funny. Like, he's just like as though he's not big time homies for a minute. You know what I mean? Like, they're making it seem like there is posting Putin's W's. I'm just waiting for someone to tweet. So Prigozhin gets to jet around in a private plane, but we're still expected to reduce our carbon footprint and use paper straws. Oh my God, Twitter has broken everyone's brains. I swear to fucking God. Okay. I want you all to remember this image when you think about Prigozhin's death, possibly. I want to point this out one more time. This is a man who is a master of disguise. Okay? This is a man who's a master of disguise. You don't know. You don't know if he was on that plane. You don't even know if he's in. You don't even know if he is currently in. Oh, wait, what the fuck? He could be in chat right now watching. Exactly. Think about that before you tweet. Oh my God. You guys are fucking. Oh, jeez. This, and then the other one is going to be. The classic. He's in heaven. You clear the skies. You watch over from the skies. I'll take over from the streets type shit. 38-month sub. Was the pilot vaccinated? Yes. Clearly. Planes don't just do that. Planes don't just do that on their own, chat. He was vaccinated. The pilot was vaccinated. I'm telling you. Planes only do that when they're in extreme distress, okay? Anyway, this is I'll keep you guys posted. I'll keep you guys posted, but I'm sorry, I am not going to celebrate another bald man's passing. Okay? I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of bald on bald violence, by the way. I'm not going to do it. This is my own personal Afghanistan. You guys just want to see, you hate seeing bald men thrive, okay? And that's it. That's what's going on here. You just want to celebrate his passing because you think it's fucked up. I mean, you think it's a bald man got any kind of power whatsoever. Why are people sending me Julia Ayafe tweets?
Уметь прощать. Да. Но не все. А что невозможно простить? Предательство.
Why is this shot like a telenovela? Does one need to be able to forgive? He says, yes, da, but not everything. What can't be forgiven? Betrayal. If you want to know the mania on like the Russia watch alert on Twitter, I saw a really funny tweet the other day where it was like, not on my watch, pal. Look at Vladimir Putin with another body double, and their reasoning for why they thought that Vladimir Putin had a body double was because he was like looking at his left arm instead of his right arm or something. Like as though he had a watch on his left arm. It's awesome. Everyone has lost their minds. It's great. Russia-Ukraine watch is the most mentally ill people alive. I don't think they're mentally ill, but they're not like as mentally ill as some of the other types of mental illness that we've seen. What is this? Xi Jinping's bodyguard. Wait, what? Xi Jinping's bodyguard was detained at the BRICS summit in South Africa. The bodyguard of the Chinese leader lagged behind him and tried to catch up, but the security service pinned him down and closed the door. Wait, what? Was that his fucking security guard? That doesn't look like his security guard. What kind of security guard is this, dude? He doesn't even look like a security guard at all. He looks like he might be his like translator or some shit. Newer updates from Wagner on Prigozhin, and also interesting tweet from Eric. Ryadovka just posted an interesting anecdote about how Prigozhin often switched between two of his planes in order to avoid danger. He would often switch planes at the last moment so that no one knew which he would be on. He didn't do that today, apparently. One of the largest Wagner channels says that Prigozhin has died as a result of the actions of Russia's traitors. Glory to Russia. Oh, they'll say they're. I forgot. So, because there's a lot of drone strikes and shit happening on Russian soil, I suspect maybe they'll just do the thing where they'll be like, it was Ukraine that killed him. You know what I mean? Like, it was actually Ukrainian drones that actually killed him, or Ukrainian missiles that fucking killed him. This way, you know, Vladimir Putin takes care of someone who betrayed him, and then gets to claim that he He's still defending the honor of his friend. I already saw a Russian blogger said that. Yeah, that's probably why there's some fucking gray names in the chat saying that too. Biden's take just now. Tells reported I'd be careful what I wrote in. There's not much that happens in Russia that Putin is not behind. I mean, he's not wrong. Did he actually say this? He looks so dead.
I don't know for a fact. You may recall, when I was asked about this by you, I said I'd be careful what I drink, what I wrote in. I don't know for a fact what happened, but I'm not surprised.
Do you think Putin's responsible?
There's not much that happens when Russia is not behind, but I don't know.
There's not much that happens in Russia that Putin's not behind is actually incredibly sound foreign policy analysis. Like, surprisingly coherent from sleepy ass Joe Biden. He's 100% right about that. I can't believe a man so fucking zooted could be so correct.
No enough to know the answer. I've been working out for the last hour and a half.
Will you watch the debates later?
I'm going to try to see get as much as I can. Yes.
What's your expectation for the
I have not. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
The never reliable Sargrad with 2 posts. A source told them that the bodies of Prigozhin and Utkin were found on the crash site. A source from Rosaviatsia that the plane was blown up. Even their followers are crying foul in the second post. Vyadovka saying that this was previously rumored statement from the surviving Wagner commanders is coming very soon. One of the largest Wagner channels 9 minutes ago says that Prigozhin has died as a result of the actions of Russia's traitors. Glory to Russia. Vyadovka just posted an interesting anecdote about how Prigozhin often switched between 2 of his planes in order to avoid danger. He would often switch between 2 of his planes to avoid danger. He would often switch planes at the last moment so that no one knew which he would be on. He didn't do that today, apparently. This would explain why so many sources close to Wagner were long convinced that Prigozhin was actually on the second plane that recently landed in Moscow. The Financial Times quoted an anonymous Western official claiming that the plane was shot down by a Russian air defense system, but could not confirm whether Prigozhin was on board, adding, Putin doesn't take prisoners. Expect the official Kremlin line to be a bomb that was placed on board, eventually blaming Ukrainian security services / military intelligence. Nothing is conclusive, but every available eyewitness account points to a surface-to-air missile being used from deep within Russia. His body has been discovered, so his death is confirmed. I mean, I'm leaning on him dying in the most simple way possible. Still weird to me that he was.
War Diary Day 545 of Russia's war against Ukraine update. Yevgeny Prigozhin is dead.
What is this? I don't know what this is. Is this Prigozhin in yet another disguise? Am I getting gnomed? I don't get it. This guy's a fucking clown. I don't know who this guy is, and I don't care. Okay, I'm clicking away. Please don't get mad at me, NATO Andes, okay? I don't know. I'm sure he was the boldest truth teller of all time, okay? But it's good. We're good. We already covered it. Anyway, he went half traitor, man. Everybody saw coming. You try to step up on Vladdy, make sure you don't miss. I mean, yeah. You're going to have a bunch of drunk Ukraine flag moms with Doge avatars talking their shit later. I love those ladies. They're awesome. What's Hank Pecker's analysis on this? Hank Pecker's analysis is, Vladimir Putin is saving the white race, brother. What the fuck do you mean? He wants to save America's gun laws from the Democrats, the demo rats, and therefore Prigozhin was they, them, and working on transifying the Wagner military group, and Vladimir Putin hates that kind of thing, so he killed him. He wanted to make the Wagner group be the they, them army, brother. And that's what Joe Brandon would do if he was honorable. He'd do that to Mark Milley, the homosexual General Mark Milley. Prigozhin is Jewish. Hank forgot to mention that. I didn't even know that. Super off topic, but you'll find this funny from the NoFap video you watched. Wait, really? This is how them old Odd Future songs used to sound. Christian rap is sounding a little different.
Jesus Christ and you will be set free. Follow Jesus Christ, he's the only way. Pick up a Bible, pray to God, and put the porn away. It will set you free. Stop jerking off. Stop jerking off. Stop jerking off. Stop. What? Stop jerking off. Yeah. Stop jerking off. What? Stop jerking off. Please stop jerking off.
Bro, this is the most cookie cutter New Jersey ass fucking suburban little like carve out I've ever seen in my entire life. Okay, this is the new Aiden Ross bop. Yeah, you know what, friend? I'm gonna jerk off extra hard tonight. Okay.
What you doing, man? Read the word of God. Put your hand on that Bible and stop jerking off.
What if the Bible makes me want to jerk off?
Follow Jesus Christ.
Okay, I need to see more of this. The fucking Oliver Anthony shit. Jesus Christ. All right. Let's move on from that. Please do this with Kaya. Yeah, I saw that this is a new meta. The problem is, Kaya is massive. I saw this shit on TikTok and I wanted to do it, but like I can't do it with Kaya. She's too big. Tucker says that Trump approached his team about this interview. Giuliani speaking outside of the courthouse. I love that.
Maybe in American history, and the most effective mayor for sure. It can happen to you.
How does it feel to be on the other side of the justice system? How does it feel to be on the other side of the justice system?
Sorry, don't interrupt me. I'm making a statement. If they can do this to me, they can do this to you. Remember,
can they, bro? Can they? Cause like who amongst us? I mean, he's like Rudy Giuliani's like, who amongst us is not going to try to overturn the results of a democratic election? You know what I mean? By pushing for a false slate of electors that are going to override the actual democratic results, that will then like threaten poll workers and whatnot. Like, who amongst us is not going to do that? You know, every one of us is going to try and do that. So they come after me, they come after you. It's like, yeah, well, you were a prosecutor, Rudy. You kind of understand. You kind of understand that is called deterrence, right? Like, I don't think a lot of people have the capacity to be able to do such a thing, but if they were, okay, yeah, they would go to jail. That's the whole reason why you are arrested for this crime that you engaged in. You know what I mean? So that other people don't look at that and go, oh, this doesn't go punished. I should try it myself. Kind of a fundamental plank of especially America's draconian criminal justice system. So don't really get why he would have an issue with this. First it came for Rudy Giuliani. I did not speak out because I'm not a ghoul. Bush got away with it. Why can't Trump? Establishment corruption. Let Trump steal the election. It's fair. Yeah, the problem is with George W. Bush, it was definitely way more streamlined. But more importantly, Bush won in the original shitty results. Trump didn't. So when you actually end up winning due to, hanging chads or butterfly ballots or numerous other discrepancies in the election overall, you can stop the actual recount process by physically exerting yourself, by pushing it up to the Supreme Court. But you still have to win, right? Like he won originally. So Trump didn't, so he got. Does that make sense? That's a big difference. No, he won. They just keep counting the votes. GWB had a tolerable case in one state that he was able to overturn. Trump had like 4 states he needed to overturn. No, GWB won in Florida, but the results were so out of whack that they immediately recognized that in the state of Florida, who the governor at the time was George W. Bush's brother, Jeb Bush, that there was some accidents that happened. Okay? Now, when that happened, George W. Bush had won. perhaps illegally, or not illegally, but perhaps through, illicit means, right? And then in order to correct that wrong, there had to have been a hand recount. And the unfortunate thing is that Roger Stone and others were able to stop that recount from happening by physically stopping the recount from happening. Like literally, they orchestrated and organized the Brooks Brothers riot. So that's how it works. That's how it worked. But it doesn't matter because Bush had still won, even though technically he won due to discrepancies. The only discrepancy was the butterfly ballot in Broward, a ballot designed and approved by the Democratic Elections Commissioner. No, that's why I said it wasn't illegal, what they did. What they did was illegal afterwards to stop the recount from occurring. But that's why I'm saying that it was not illegal what had happened. Also, it wasn't just Broward County. You're wrong. I'm pretty sure it was, what was the other area? Maybe this is a lib take, but I feel like if Al Gore didn't follow the court process and instead subscribed at the top of the hour, he would have won the presidency. Fuck you. I got cooked by Megaphonics. I am so off my fucking game. I've literally never... First of all, here's a ban, okay? So just eat that. I can't believe I just got owned by Megaphonics. That is the worst. That is absolutely the worst. He is the consistently worst poster in here. But the one thing he's never done is fucking try to debate me with a top of the hour ad break. And now you cooked yourself. I'm never going to look at your, I'm never going to trust your silly ass links and your silly ass fucking takes in the chat ever again. You did that. You did that. Good job. Okay. Well, I will be avoiding Megaphonics statements in the chat, and you can avoid the top of the hour ad break, which comes at the top of every hour. It's 3 minutes long. If you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, where you get one free Prime subscription a month. You can also get gifted a sub if you're lucky. Here's a 3-minute ad break now. Okay? Here it is. Local Josh, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Palm Beach is the other one, yeah. Allowing 5 people to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. Gore won the popular vote by 500,000. Crazier defending Bush. Wait, you have to be insane if you think I'm defending George W. Bush. That is the first time I've had anyone say that. That's awesome. That's cool. But it also goes to show how the brain rot happens in this community from people who like seemingly are listening to what I'm saying, but they're actually not. Anyway, let's continue. Maybe. All right, so arrests are happening. Let's get to that. Let's take a look at what's going on. Also, Donald Trump is going to skip the first GOP debate as co-conspirators are preparing to surrender in Georgia. Donald Trump himself instead is going to go on X.com, Twitter, and talk to Tucker Carlson, because I personally believe that he didn't want to ask the judges, the federal judge, allowance that he might not have gotten to appear on a debate stage alongside a eyewitness, Michael Jebediah Pence, who is the star witness in at least one of the 4 different court cases that Donald Trump is currently undergoing. I feel like that was the real reason. He didn't want to come across like weak by asking for this permission and then not getting it, because it doesn't make any sense to me that he would avoid this debate, because Donald Trump is literally the GOAT at these sorts of debates. He would have made mincemeat out of all 7 of these people. He would have chopped them up, and he would have fucking ruined them, and it would have actually galvanized his base of support even further. 2 different competing theories on this is the Felix Biederman, Joe Biden in the basement approach. Felix believes that it could possibly be because he's like already trailing because he's already so far ahead that they're just trying to limit his media appearances. But I don't think that that's the case, because whenever he is in the media, he is killing it. So I don't know. The Carlson Trump thing was pre-recorded. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Hold on.
The arena in Milwaukee, where 8 GOP candidates are set to take the stage for the first debate without frontrunner former President Donald Trump.
He won't be there, but he will be center stage tomorrow, set to turn himself into the authorities in Georgia for felony charges of conspiring to overturn the 2020 election. Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky is in Atlanta with the latest. Good morning, Aaron.
George, good morning to you. While his rivals are preparing to debate in Milwaukee, the former president is a day away from turning himself in here in Atlanta, and ABC News has learned his friend and lawyer Rudy Giuliani will turn himself in here later today. This morning, Rudy Giuliani, former mayor of New York and ex-federal prosecutor, is expected to present himself as a criminal defendant. Like former President Trump, Giuliani is charged with...
It's awesome. Okay? It's awesome. The Rudolph Giuliani, why can't I talk? The Rudolph Giuliani RICO cycle is so perfect.
Racketeering for his role in the alleged criminal scheme to overturn the election results in Georgia.
I'm going to Georgia, and I'm feeling very, very good about it because I feel like I'm defending the rights of all Americans.
Trump is also preparing to get fingerprinted and have his mugshot taken before he's released on a $200,000 bond. Unlike the courthouses in New York, Miami, and Washington where Trump surrendered before, he's coming Thursday to one of the country's most controversial jails with a history of overcrowding, complaints of excessive force.
I love mainstream media across the board talking about overcrowding and excessive force in the American prison system, because now it's like rich white guys going to jail. Come on, brother. I'm sorry. This is something that we have been talking about in perpetuity. The fact that these motherfuckers now all of a sudden are like, yeah, you know, we gotta really reconsider our carceral state and how awful and inhumane it is. I mean, great. Do I believe that this is going to change anything? Absolutely not. It's just so odd that the entirety of mainstream media that has been awfully and suspiciously quiet about Cop City, for example, are now chirping about the jail conditions. I mean, come on now. Come on now, brothers and sisters. I'm seeing what's going on here.
And the recent death of an inmate. Trump's alleged co-conspirator, John Eastman, preceding him at the jail. The lawyer is accused of drafting a memo proposing the use of fake electors to try to block Joe Biden's rightful victory.
My legal team and I will vigorously contest every count of the indictment in which I have been named.
Eastman's bond was set at $100,000. So was the bond for Jenna Ellis, a former Trump campaign attorney who allegedly peddled falsehoods about the election to Georgia lawmakers. Trump's chief of staff, Mark Meadows, is hoping to avoid being arrested at all. He wants the case moved to federal court, and he's asking the judge to rule before the surrender deadline of noon Friday. Meadows tried asking prosecutors for a reprieve, but court records show the district attorney, Fani Willis, replying, "I am not granting any extensions." Overnight, two more of Trump's co-defendants turned themselves in here at the jail. David Schaefer, the former Republican chairman for the state of Georgia, and Kathy Latham, a former county Republican official. She allegedly gave unauthorized access to voting machines in an ill-fated attempt to prove fraud. George?
And Aaron, of course, the former president now facing 4 different...
Wow, I thought it was, oh, wow, it's illegal to seek out the truth. Wow, that's a whistleblower, friend, okay? Kind of fucked up.
Felony cases. There was a major development yesterday in the classified documents case.
This is the first known witness to cooperate against former President Trump and cooperate with special counsel Jack Smith, an IT worker at Mar-a-Lago, Yusel Tavares. Prosecutors were prepared to charge him with lying to investigators before he had his change of heart.
Surrender is just a term of phrase because you're like surrendering yourself to the state. Like, they're booking him. That's it.
And now we're told he provided valuable information to Jack Smith and his team about former President Trump's alleged push to have IT footage, security camera footage at Mar-a-Lago deleted, despite knowing the FBI wanted to see it. George?
More evidence coming out. Aaron, thanks very much. Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube.
So when can we expect the mugshot? Tomorrow, baby. Don't worry.
So happening now, Rudy Giuliani is on his way to Georgia to surrender. The former New York City mayor once served as a lawyer for Donald Trump, literally helping him right into 2 impeachments.
IT guys are having a fucking resurgence, dude. IT guy giving up the goods on Donald Trump in Mar-a-Lago. IT guys are not declassifying, but like leaking top secret classification documents. You got to watch out. You got to watch out for them IT boys, okay? They'll get you. They know everything.
And holding court at Four Seasons Landscaping. Now Giuliani himself faces the most charges along with Trump for trying to overturn the 2020 election results in Georgia. He said this moments before boarding a plane.
I don't know if I plead today, but if I do, I plead not guilty. And I get photographed. Isn't that nice? A mugshot for the man who probably put the worst criminals of the 20th century in jail. You find a prosecutor who has a better record of mine.
Brother, he is like, you know, this shit hits him hard, okay? And I'm here for his downfall, okay? The Rudy Giuliani is over party, smoking on that Rudolph Giuliani pack. He's such a gross little cretin. I'm very excited for this, okay? Fuck this guy. He's such a piece of shit.
In the last 100 years, I bet you don't, or a mayor. And they're going to degrade themselves by doing a mugshot of me. Like, people will recognize me. And now, of course, they can fingerprint me, but I've been fingerprinted 150 times, so this will turn out exactly like the FBI search turned out. They're lying. I'm telling the truth. They're destroying my right to counsel, my right to be a lawyer. They're destroying his right to counsel. It's not accidental that they've indicted all his lawyers. Never heard of that before in America. Now they've indicted people in this case. I don't even know who they are. These are just regular people making a normal living. They're going to bankrupt them. They won't convict them.
Once Giuliani gets to Georgia, he is expected to go first to the DA's office to discuss his bond agreement. Once
Rudy looks like the American Prigozhin, makes you think, actually, he might be the American Prigozhin. He probably is Prigozhin. Prigozhin, breaking news, Rudolph Giuliani body swap with Prigozhin. He's actually in the United States of America, surviving.
Once the deal is struck, he could then go directly to jail and not collect $200, although that would be useful to him because he seems to be having issues paying for his defense.
God, it's pretty funny, dude. His downfall and the serious coverage surrounding it is pretty awesome. Like, he's fucking broke too. It's awesome, dude. Ex-Trump attorney Kenneth Chesebro mugshot. Yeah, these are so ugly. Oh, I can't wait for the Trump one. There ain't no way he looks good. There ain't no fucking way he looks good. Here, let's look at some of these mugshots. Booking photos for Kenneth Chesebro, Kathy Latham, and motherfucking Ray Smith. Oh my God. Bro, she blew up the goddamn... Kathy Latham is so white, she blew up the exposure, dude. They had to fucking readjust the white balance. My mug shouties. I got worried and almost... These are just regular people trying to make a living. Please stop. Hey, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. You know what I'm saying? Hey, these thugs, these fucking thugs are getting what's coming for them. Do you understand? These criminals. Yeah, they should have just complied with the law. Have you ever thought about the rule of the law? Nothing is sacred anymore, huh? Lock them up. Lock them up. Believe it. Okay? Lock them up.
Caleb Polantz is live outside the courthouse. About to be a lot
I gotta
more
pee. I'll
going
be
on
back.
in Georgia, Caitlin.
Of course, John. This morning, we are awaiting the arrival of Rudy Giuliani now that he is in the air, or on the road at least, to get to Georgia today. And what we're expecting is that Giuliani wants everything to be taken care of that he needs to do to respond to this criminal indictment. He wants it all to happen today. He wants his bond negotiation to happen and have that set and done. And then he also wants to go to the jail and be arrested, apparently, according to the reporting that we've put together here at CNN on what his intentions are. The reason for that is because he wants to get it done before Donald Trump would be coming into town tomorrow. There is a lot of questions around their relationship, how it is existing right now, if they are going to be taking the same approach to this case and other investigations around January 6th, like the federal investigation. But it is a really big moment for Rudy Giuliani to be coming here as perhaps one of the most well-known former prosecutors in America, and obviously one of the most well-known people among the people charged in this case, among the 19, except for maybe Donald Trump himself. We have seen more than half of the people who are indicted in this case already go through their bond negotiations. We're starting to see them turn themselves in, be arrested, having mugshots taken even. And so Rudy Giuliani will be one of the next ones to put on that list. Really important to see exactly how it goes for him today, because he's had a couple hard weeks where even money has been difficult for him to come by to fight some of these cases.
No, absolutely. How he is paying for his defense, very much an issue right now. We will be following the former mayor's movements. Caitlin, keep us posted. Thank you very much. Sarah.
Overnight, two more of Donald Trump's co-defendants surrendered to the Fulton County Jail in Georgia. Both were key players in the fake elector plot in that state. If you're keeping count, that's now 4 co-defendants who have been booked and processed. The 15 who remain, including Donald Trump, of course, have until noon on Friday to turn themselves in. Kathy Latham is the former chair of the Coffee County Republican Party. She faces nearly a dozen.
Tim Pool is calling for civil war again. Love that. You don't have to call it civil war. Call it a communist revolution. Fired founder of right-wing org Project Veritas is under investigation in New York. So what's really funny about this like civil war narrative is that like Tim Pool says it about everything. At this point, it's like it's going to be an article about like fucking Ian Miles Chung stubbing his toe or something in Malaysia, and Tim Pool's like, "This is civil war." Dude, even right-wing people don't like this fucking freak. He was basically taking funds from GOP mega donors and then like funding his own fucking personal projects to do like a revamp of Oklahoma. Okay? That's part of the reason why nobody gives a shit. Only Tim Pool is just like losing his mind because he himself is also a goddamn theater kid. Speaking of theater kids, here's Tim Pool's second in command, I guess. This was a fucking hilarious video. I'm so glad that this myth-informed account, which used to be a Joe Rogan tracker that I used to follow all the time, has completely lost their fucking minds and are now fully on board with Joe Rogan's narrative about like vaccines, lockdowns, whatever the fuck Joe Rogan has to say. And they clipped this, thought it was sick. Okay, trigger warning. They clipped this, thought this was a fucking video that went hard. Let me read the caption for you. "We will not wear your dirty masks on our faces. We will not comply with your bullshit lockdowns." Now, first of all, that sounds like a fetish. Okay, what's going on there? Is there like a fetish? Like someone is just like pissing and shitting in a mask and then making you wear it? Like, what the fuck is that? Like, what do you mean, my dirty mask? Okay. Now, you might think, Hassan, this video is from 2020. And you would be wrong. This video is recent. As a matter of fact, there's a resurgence in the right-wing circles. If you're not paying close attention, or if you don't have like a canary in the coal mine like I do to keep up with all of the latest mania in right-wing circuits, you're probably unfamiliar. The right is back on this mask shit. Apparently, they believe that lockdowns are coming again. They believe that the second lockdown is coming, that they believe that there's more New World Order shit happening, and so that's what they're running with right now. No, they aren't, lol. Yes, they are. Anyway, Let's take a look.
That is the recipe to destroy your country, is to shut it down. Don't do that again. And don't make people put fucking dirty masks on.
Nice.
I'm sick of it, man. I'm fucking sick of it. I will not do it again. That
Like, somebody was watching this, okay? These three guys from Milwaukee that oppose authoritarian ideology were watching this and went, that goes so hard, we have to clip this and post it. It's like, this guy is fucking crying so hard. So, couple things, okay? Couple things going on here. I don't even know what's happening with these lockdowns. Like, I guess, like, this is the new conservative commentary. That like the lockdowns are coming again or something. I think they basically just like ran out of shit. Like they ran out of shit, so they're just running with it. I mean, there has been resurgences of new COVID strains that have kind of been ripping through a little bit. But ultimately, at this stage, I feel like there is no shot. There is no fucking shot that like Democrats are going to do lockdowns. You know what I mean? Are you kidding me? I think we all forget that. I think we all forget that, like, the main point was, why are you sending me this? Dua Lipa shares new photos with boyfriend Romain Gavras for her birthday. He looks so cool. Why did you share? I don't understand what this has to do with anything. Anyway, so I believe the theory includes speculation of mail-in and absentee ballots to rig the election. Love that. Check him getting ratioed in the replies. Will not. Masks are by definition dirty. They get gross as the day goes on. No more masks. You can change them as the day goes on. They're not expensive. Will not comply. I refuse to wipe my ass. Will not comply. So a lot of people forget that the FDA, once the vaccines came out, there was a big push to vaccinate the entire worker population because the goal for all capital owners was to ensure that their cattle was properly vaccinated so they could work. They could keep churning out product. They could go and buy shit, right? That was the major reason. Now, of course, that aligned with the uniquely human condition of wanting to survive a otherwise deadly pandemic. You know what I mean? Like it definitely coincided in that way, which really broke a lot of people's brains for some reason. Like I always understood why, you know, people were pushing for the vaccination campaigns, the mass inoculation campaigns. It was obviously the goal for capital owners were to get back to work, make sure everybody gets back to work, right? But for some weird reason, these guys didn't understand that that was the point, or rather looked at that and thought, yeah, I'm not doing that like a child, okay? I'm not doing that no matter what you tell me. But now that mass inoculation campaigns have occurred and people have gotten COVID and survived, a lot of people have long COVID and are still facing the consequences of that sort of thing. At this stage, unless there is like a incredibly damaging second wave that is like, you know, this new strain that is just wiping out people, okay? There will probably not be another lockdown because at this point, like, we tried it, we did it, we failed. People complained a lot about it. It actually hurt the bottom line of corporations, especially in the beginning. There's no way they're going back to that. Okay? USA had one of the highest COVID patients and death rate in the COVID. How are they still ignorant? It don't matter. But yeah, for those of you saying like this is not the new meta, I will not comply. Will you? No masks, no shots, no bugs, no groomers near our children, no mandates, no funding proxy war with billions of our tax dollars. That's just for starters, says Erin Elizabeth Health Nut News. Happening now in Los Angeles, California, parents have taken to the streets and are now headed to the LAUSD headquarters. Parents say they are done with Newsom and LA city officials undermining parental rights. This shit is like so insanely AstroTurf, dude. It's awesome. This is like every issue. Listen to the detransitioners. Parents are the trusted adults. Leave our kids alone. No more lockdowns. Like, it's a smorgasbord of like different kinds of conservative mental illness and display. And the obvious reason for why this is like popping off, the main reason why it's happening is because wait, what is this?
Damn, this guy's good.